Today's story in the gospel could really be a modern one-act play, a single scene where three characters take part: Jesus, Simon the Pharisee, and an unnamed woman with an alabaster jar. You might picture a rather elegant dining room and a special meal. Simon had invited Jesus to dinner, and when he reclined, the unnamed woman with the alabaster jar comes in and an uncomfortable scene takes place. She's weeping so uncontrollably that her tears wash the feet of Jesus. She doesn't have a towel with her, so she unties her hair and dries his feet with her hair. She anoints his feet with very expensive oil. Simon the Pharisee is taken aback. He knows the woman is a sinner. What kind of sinner, we're not told. And he thinks that if Jesus were really a prophet, he would know who he was dealing with. Jesus, apparently reading Simon's thought, said that you didn't even offer to wash my feet, but this woman has done so, and her sins are forgiven. That could be the name of the play, forgiveness. It's also the theme of the first reading from Kings, which reads almost like a soap opera. David is confronted by Nathan, and David has sinned grievously. He impregnated the wife of one of his generals and then puts him in harm's way, hoping, and indeed he was, killed in the battle. And then David took the woman as one more of his wives. Nathan says that what David has done is serious, but the Lord offers his forgiveness. What we need today is to rejoice that we do indeed have a forgiving God, an understanding God. No matter what we have done, God is willing to forgive. As God forgives, you and I are called to forgive others. That's not always an easy thing to do. Father Henry Nouwen wrote in the last century, he wrote that when we refuse to forgive, we somehow chain ourselves to our own hatred and cannot be free. That's consistent with the root meaning of the Aramaic word to forgive, to untie. When we forgive, we untie ourselves from our anger, our resentment, and perhaps justified disappointment. Pope Francis introduced us, or at least me, to a new image of Mary, describing her as the undoer of knots. It's based on an image from medieval times, a picture of Mary with a long cord, almost like Franciscans wear, with different knots, and she is untying them. Perhaps we could ask for the intercession of Mary, the undoer of knots, as we try to undo knots in our own lives, or perhaps knots in our relationship with others. Forgiveness is the order of the day.